Hello, everybody. I hope I'm coming through all right, and I also hope that the audio source is actually working this time around. In case you weren't here for Dev Livestream number 1, there was a little bit of technical difficulties with the mic. I was using the wrong audio source, so I do apologize for that if you were sticking around for that. This time around, I tested everything just about 15 minutes ago or so hopefully everything's good. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the audio is sounding good. Last time it was like super quiet, and also the quality was not great. So just give me a shout out in chat here if everything sounds good. Okay, looks like people are saying that things are working out all right. So we'll go ahead and we'll get rolling here in a couple minutes. There's a couple of course, announcements that should be made. First off, the Kickstarter for Cattails Wildwood Story is coming very soon. I'm kind of freaking out about it, but I'm very excited about that. So that's going to launch next Tuesday, May 10th, and we're targeting between probably 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you're not following our campaign on Kickstarter, I'd highly recommend that you do so. You'll get an email notification as soon as the game goes live. And to explain a little bit about what the Kickstarter is a crowdfunding campaign that we are using to fund development of the game. So the game's already been in active development for a little over 2.5 years now. So it's been a very long road to get here, to get to this point. But we're using Kickstarter to fund the sort of final half of development, if you will, to keep funding myself and my wife and the wonderful contractors that we work with. So the Kickstarter campaign, when that goes live, you will have several options of funding that you can provide to us in exchange for special rewards. Some of those rewards are game keys when the game launches, exclusive pets, physical merch like back here on the shelf. I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bit small, but I have the Crampy plush, which we have about 250 of those available. And the CD as well. So we have a whole soundtrack just for Cattails Wildwood Story. It's a little over 2 hours. We had to split the soundtrack into 2 music discs because it's so long. And it's really quality stuff. Same composer as the first game, Tormod Garvin, alongside Naomi Sullivan and Alex Hill Knight, who's a saxophonist and a pianist, who joined Tormod to create this amazing soundtrack. So if you're interested in any of those sort of rewards, we've been posting a little bit more about those to our social media accounts over the past couple weeks. I'd highly recommend that you go and check those out. We have a write-up about the physical rewards bundle. We have a write-up about the exclusive pets. And we have a write-up about early access options as well. So if you're interested in any of that, probably go check our Twitter. It's @CattailsGame, and you can get a link to our write-ups on all of that. So, without further ado, I'm going to actually switch over the source here. So instead of looking at this lovely key art, we're going to switch over to the Kickstarter. So this is a preview link, basically, but this is the actual Kickstarter campaign. I've been working very hard on the page over the last few months. I actually started this process back in like August of last year of like laying this thing out. So it's been a long time. A lot of work has gone into this, but we have, of course, the Kickstarter page. So we've got our lovely trailer at the top, which of course we've updated. So it's similar to the announcement trailer that was already released, but we've updated it a little bit with some new art assets, focusing on some different elements of gameplay, that kind of stuff. And then of course there's me talking to the camera, wearing this exact same outfit. That's a funny coincidence. But I'll just kind of scroll down here so you can kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with. But the Kickstarter campaign, if you've never backed a Kickstarter before, it's a pretty simple format. So you're going to look at the story, you're going to read about the game, see if it sounds up your alley, learn a little bit more about the rewards, and then you'll have the opportunity to pick a reward tier, which are listed there on the right, which are going to have different rewards available for you to back at. If you do that, then when those rewards become available, we will send you an email or maybe even a physical box in the mail with your rewards. And of course, none of the funding goes through unless we meet our goals. So it's very important that if you like the game, that you share this campaign with your friends, that you share our link to our website with your friends as well. You can post about it to social media or just talk to them in person about it. We'd really appreciate that because, you know, if we get even $1 short of our goal, then we get nothing and you guys, you know, don't get the game basically on time. So that would be kind of a big deal. So, yeah, that's Tuesday, May 10th. Mark your calendars. That is coming very soon. Very, very soon. It feels really, really fast and also really, really slow because we announced the game back in January, right? So it's been several months at this point. And I knew that we would have this sort of, what is it? January, February, March, April, May. This 4-month time block here to sort of like hype up the Kickstarter and talk about the game and get all the details to you guys. And now that that's basically gone, I mean, 4 months goes really, really fast when you're just heads down actively working on a giant project like this. So that's kind of wild. I thought that it would be really, really slow. Turns out it felt really, really fast. So kind of interesting. I see a comment that the artwork's really good. Yeah, there's a lot of really good artwork in here. A lot of it's done by Narabus Artworks, who you can find on Twitter. Also did the in-game portraits for the cats. So there is some really, really beautiful stuff in there. There's also the work of Mari-Elise Kirsamagi right here. This Crampy piece was done by Mari-Elise as well, along with some of the other pieces. But yeah, we're very, very happy with that. Very excited with how that turned out. All right, so that's the Kickstarter. Again, you can check that out on Tuesday. And also, if you go to cattailsgame.com/KS, like Kickstarter, just /KS, that's going to take you right to a page where you can follow the campaign. It's going to notify you as soon as that goes live. And again, I'm telling you, it's probably going to be sometime in the morning, so like 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, 6 days from now. I mean, it's coming up. So right around the corner. All right, we're going to hop into the game probably, because that's what you guys are here to see, is to see some gameplay footage and to chat about some of those features and the things that we've been working on lately, of course, and to ask questions and chat with you guys a little bit as we play. So I'm going to go ahead and boot that up. So we'll switch the source over here. I've already seen those. Give me just a second here. My controller cord is caught on something. Okay, all right. Can you guys hear me now? Sorry about that. I think that's working again now. Not entirely sure, but hopefully. Sorry about that. It does look like my broadcasting software over here is saying that the audio should be coming through again. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Don't really know what happened there. I think I was messing with the cables. I probably just hit it funky or unplugged it or something. Let's hope that doesn't mess things up. There we go. All right, so now the mic is working, the controller is working, the stream's working, hopefully. I mean, it seems like everything's good. Sorry about that. Just technical difficulties, little tiny hiccups. Thanks for sticking with us. Appreciate it. So, let's see. Where was I? Oh, right. Last time that we had the dev live stream, I showed some elements that you'll probably see again tonight. But since that time, it's been about a month, so I've been developing the game, obviously, over that time. And so two of the really, really big things that I worked on over the last couple weeks are some art improvements. So I took a look at several of the game art assets and redid some of it or reshaded it. The character model is one of those, so I've sort of reshaded those a little bit. They look a little nicer, redid the legs. I think they look a lot better. So we'll probably dive into character customization a little bit, maybe make another custom color just to demonstrate that, and, you know, play as maybe a fluffy cat this time around. I have a very fluffy calico myself, my cat Ellie, who is in the game, by the way. And so I think we'll probably make a fluffy cat this time around. I think that'll be fun. One of the other really big changes that was made since last time is I was working on expanding the map pretty significantly, so there's a lot of new areas to explore. So I might focus a little bit more on exploration. I might do a little bit more socializing as well. I'll probably try to talk to some of the cats, maybe try to befriend one or two of them, something like that. So we'll see as we dive into the game here. I'm going to go ahead and load it up. So again, we went over the intro last time, so I'm just going to skip that. And I'll try to get caught up on chat here. I see a question, will we be able to get the Crampy plush? Yes, absolutely. That's going to be part of the Kickstarter campaign. It's going to be bundled with several other physical rewards. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely recommend you follow the campaign. It is limited quantity because we had to order like a very large quantity of Crampies in order to produce those in the first place. So it's kind of going to be a first come, first serve kind of a deal. If we run out, we run out. So definitely consider following if that is something you're interested in. Hopefully we won't. I'm optimistic that we won't, but again, it's a possibility, so I feel like I should mention it. All right, so here we are in game. Looks like everything is running and coming through on the stream. So we're gonna probably go over here. I do, give me just a second. I'm gonna adjust, there we go, one of the video settings. So here's Phantom. This is a cat that we revealed probably last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Phantom is, you know, kind of a Bengal cat, and Phantom is really into hunting and also like stockpiling. So Phantom has a huge hoard of like freshly collected herbs and preserved prey in their den. So I kind of like that. I think that Phantom's personality is someone that our cat might get along with. So I'm probably going to try to befriend Phantom here as we play. So Phantom says, "Oh, hello. I don't usually see any other cats at this time. I wasn't expecting on seeing anyone, especially a new face. I'm Phantom. Nice to meet you. Do I smell like peppermint? Sorry, it's all over my paws. I've been sorting my herb collection all morning so that I could fit more into my den. It has a habit of expanding into every nook and cranny and needs constant upkeep. Well, it was nice talking. I assume you'll stop by again sometime. I might be out and about when you do. Don't take it personally." Alright, so we'll probably chat to Phantom. It's a good idea to chat with the cats every day if you want to befriend them. That gives you a good bonus to your friendship rank with them, which you can see denoted by the stars next to their portrait. So those stars are how friendly you are with that cat. So 0 stars means they don't really like you at all. 4 stars means you're like best friends. You know, it's a dangerous world out there. You need to be safe. How do I do it, you ask? I sharpen my claws daily and venture out on my own all the time. There's no substitute for personal experience when you're caught in a pinch. Alright, so that's kind of Phantom's MO. We'll probably head out and try to find a gift that we can maybe give to Phantom. So let's kind of head this way. Oh, there's some thistle right there. I can pick that. It's just rank 1 thistle, so it's not super great. Got a daisy as well. Daisies are kind of interesting. Some cats like them for their appearance, but I will caution you, you should be very careful when handling them. They're toxic to cats, so if you accidentally eat a daisy, then it's going to confuse your movement speed for a little while. Might break down some of this grass too. Sometimes you can find money in the grass, which would be nice to find this early into gameplay. Get a little muse. Hey, there was a mew. Alright, somebody must have dropped that. Oh, there's so the scent bubbles that are appearing on the edge of the screen, those are pointing out different types of prey that are in the area. So this here's a magpie. So if I try pouncing on this magpie, let's see if we can catch it or not. Yep, there we go. Alright, so I now have the magpie added to my collection, and how that's going to help me in the future is if another magpie spawns into this area, then its bubble, instead of being a question mark there on the edge of the screen, it's actually going to show me the magpie. So that it's like I've studied its scent, you know, and now I can identify them from a distance. There we have a sparrow, I believe. We're going to try to get real close to that sparrow. If we kind of study it, you can see the ring that appears around it. That's going to tell you how close you can get. So this is really good. So we've triggered a perfect pounce chance. You can tell that the pounce bar is kind of like sparkly. That means that not only do we have an increased chance of getting it because that green zone is expanded, but if we do successfully pounce, we're going to get a bonus XP for it. Ah, so close. I got distracted talking, and I think that I missed out. So no bonus XP for us. That's a real shame, but that's all right. Because there's a vole right there. Little, or is that a shrew? I think that's a vole. So we're gonna try to catch him. All right, there we go. There's a successful pounce. Oh, it's a shrew. All right, so we got the shrew. Now we know the scent of shrew, and we can try to track down the shrew. There is another shrew. So I'm going to get a little farther away from the shrew so I can demonstrate. So you see on the edge of the screen now, that orange scent bubble, it's actually showing me right where the shrew is and pointing straight to that shrew. So now I know that if I want a shrew, I should go this way. So I'm going to kind of approach that shrew. We'll try to catch that one as well. So we'll have 2 of those to bring back to Phantom. There you are. Perfect. All right, so we got the bonus XP for that. There's some golden seal down here that I can harvest before I head back into town. So we're going to head back into town. We might sell some of this stuff. We might store some of it. We'll definitely give some of it out as gifts. All right. So we'll talk to Phantom. Right, Phantom's going to tell us basically the same thing. So let's see. What would Phantom appreciate the most? Well, Phantom really likes hunting. I think shrew is probably our best bet here, so I'm going to go ahead and give Phantom this shrew. All right. So we're going to give the shrew, and Phantom says, thank you. Honestly, I could have gotten this myself, but I appreciate the gesture. Okay, so that definitely helped us, but it wasn't like a great gift. Phantom didn't love the shrew. And of course, if we try to give another gift today, this is a little bit different than the first Cattails. You can only give 1 gift every day, so you got to be kind of careful about what you give. So if we try to give another, then Phantom's going to say, I can take care of myself, Felis, which is the default starting name. So, you know, you kind of just have to get to know the cats pretty well. So I'm going to go around and introduce myself to some of the other cats, just to kind of get to know them, get to know the neighbors a little bit better. I definitely want to introduce myself to Ember. Ember is the shopkeeper, and of course we're going to offload some of our extra items to Ember as we play to get some extra muse. So real fast here, I'll just kind of skip through there. And we're going to sell some of these items. So it looks like the shrew is our most valuable thing. I'll definitely sell that because Phantom didn't love it. We'll hang on to the magpie just in case Phantom likes that. Golden seal might actually be a good gift, so I'll hang on to that too. But we'll get rid of the thistle, we'll get rid of the daisy. I don't think Phantom is going to like that. And we'll get rid of the bugs too. So we've got a magpie and a golden seal, which we'll try to give 1 of those to Phantom tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and store those in my den so that I don't accidentally use those or eat those or whatever. So we're going to go out and do a little bit more exploring. We might try to go a little further afield this time. Somewhere else that we can kind of find some more stuff, because we've already despoiled this region of most of its herbs at this point. I see a question in chat, who is your favorite cat to write for? That's a really, really hard one. I had a great time writing all of the cats. It's really fun to kind of channel the personalities, because there's so many distinct, unique personalities going on there. If I had to pick, I would say Talon was actually really fun to write for, because Talon's personality is so incredibly different than the other cats. Talon is like super grumpy and doesn't like you very much, whereas most of the cats in the game are pretty friendly. Generally, they're very approachable. Talon is not like that, especially not at first. So, getting to kind of write for I guess a mean character was a fun diversion from the norm, I guess I should say. All right, what do we have up here? So in these kind of ruins here, oh, we got a power paw challenge. So if I can find all of these plates, then it'll spawn in a power paw. I think there's 5 of them. So let's see, there's one right there. There's one right over here as well that I can see. So there's 3. Just gotta find 2 more. There's one. And where's the last one? Where'd I put that? Maybe it's under the grass somewhere. Oh, there it is, it's right there. Perfect. Okay, so we heard the jingle and there is a power paw waiting for us. So this is a blue power paw. That's going to help us with our hunger bar. So you see the fish icon in the lower left there. That's our hunger meter. Right now it is divided into 5 segments, and of course if I eat food, which I don't have any food on me, it would refill those segments, so I'm kind of hungry right now. You'll see as I collect this blue power paw, which is going to help me with hunger, that fish is going to expand. There's now 6 segments on there, and of course it's refilled because I got the power paw, so that's really nice. I see a question, how does vitiligo work in the game? Do you gain more white spots every year? So I made sort of a custom pelt that was based on a cat with vitiligo because I thought it was a really interesting pattern. There's not like mechanics behind that, it's just a custom pelt that you can make, and so you could update that custom pelt every year if you wanted to have more and more white spots, I suppose. But the way that I handled it is I just made a pattern and then I wore it, and it's not really a mechanic in the game. Speaking of which, I should probably go and update my character model a little bit here, because right now I'm just running with the default white cat, so find a good little spot here, maybe up by this lake, and then oh, there's raspberries. Sorry, I get distracted easily. There's so much to collect out here. Yeah, right up here, we'll just kind of land on the shore here, and we'll update our appearance a little bit. So first off, as promised, we're going to switch over to a fluffier body type. We'll probably go all fluffy, and I like the downward fluffy tail for right now. I'm not going to worry too much about the voice, because we're not going to be meowing too much. So we got a fluffy cat. The dilute tortoiseshell is kind of cool on that. I don't mind that. Let's see here. What else could we do? We could do a tabby. Could definitely do a tabby. There's some good tabbies to pick from there. I feel like the calico is kind of good, and maybe I'm biased because I have a calico cat that's rather fluffy. Or maybe we could do one of the custom colors. So I made this one that I just called Nebula the other day. I'm kind of partial to it. I might play around with that one a little bit, just to customize it for this particular cat. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to change my eye color to what I actually want, which I think is going to be like a really pale green. Oh, you know what? I've got to actually apply that coat color. All right, so for the eyes, I'm thinking kind of a yellowish green, and then we'll make it real pale. Something like that. I think that's going to work well. So we'll go ahead and go in here. It's maybe the paws that I'm not super loving quite yet. So maybe we can turn those into more of like a light, almost like an aqua color. Kind of like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add that color to my palette. And then I'm just going to set all of the paws to that same color by accessing the palette and then selecting it here. There we go. So now we have those little blue paws. Is there any other element that we might want to make blue? I don't think so. I actually think I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just save that. We'll wear that. And now, of course, we're a kitty with little blue paws. I'm going to try to catch that, what is that? That's a carp, I think. See if we can get it. Ooh, that's a perfect pounce chance. So we must be really, really close to how close we can get to that carp. Yes, all right. So we got the carp. So we'll come back here. I see a question from a fox on the internet. Hello, by the way. Good to see you here. I do see the question, is rival colony territory across the map going to make a return? So that, basically, if there was a feature in the first game, you can expect it to return in some form or another in this new game. So that's something that we haven't implemented yet, but we have big plans for. Very excited to share that. We just can't talk about that quite yet, but I have some really, really good ideas for that I'm hoping is going to turn out really cool. So stick with me. Let's see here. Any other questions? Go ahead and toss them into chat. I've probably missed a lot of those just as I've been playing here. Oh, there's a mouse. I know that Phantom is going to appreciate a good mouse if I can get that. Yes, and indeed we did get the mouse. So that is good. That's going to help us a lot. So let's see. We are currently 3 tiles away from home. We'll go ahead and head back this way. I did also want to mention to a fox on the internet there, you had suggested at one point like a knockback mechanic for the enemies, and that actually inspired some of our combat mechanics. There is knockback in this game. And that is specifically because of our interview that we had. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. That was actually a great suggestion. It really added a lot to the sort of feel of combat. I do see some questions about kittens. I'm so sorry. I wish that I could talk all about that. There's some cool ideas planned for that. I can't yet. It's not something that we've implemented, and I would hate to promise something that you know, for whatever reason we end up changing our mind about. So I'm not going to talk about kittens quite yet. But if you stick with us, eventually we will share how that's going to work. I see a question. How come some of the cats don't know who you are if you're the leader of the colony? Great question. We actually went through since the last live stream, and we tried to strip out most of those cats not knowing who you are, especially if they came from one of the previous colonies. So if they were part of the forest colony, the mountain colony, or the mystic colony, they of course know who you are because they joined you on the journey. Some of the other cats, so like Phantom, for example, is actually a new resident who has moved into your town, who doesn't know anybody when they move into town. So part of the mechanics of this game are that you're going to be recruiting these cats to join you as you play. So you're not going to start with everybody in your base. So when they move in, of course, they're not going to know you and they're not going to know anybody else. But Crampy, Ember, Coco, Ellie, all of them, they should act like they know you right off the bat. Okay, that rabbit is probably going to be a really good gift, so I'm going to hang on to that. We already have a golden seal, we have a marigold, so I'm going to sell the rest of this stuff. Pretty much everything, even that moth. I'll hang on to the vole because I need to eat something, so I'll go ahead and eat that. Alright, it's getting a little bit late. I think I can probably head south down to the beach here before turning in for the night. I see a question from Dragon Dog. Are all of the characters from the previous game going to be in the new one? So sorry, but no, they are not. So there is something like 28... No, even more if you count Ellie and Coco. There's like 30 cats in the first game. And as much as I love all of them, not every cat will be returning. So some of them are, some of them are not. We're trying to get a healthy mix of recognizable characters that people know and love, such as, you know, Crampy and Ember, while also introducing some exciting new characters. Oh, I'm getting into a fight here. So the new characters is something that I'm pretty excited about. We wanted to be able to move the series forward and not just focus so much on just the old ones. And of course, there's sort of limits to how big the cat colony can really get. Some of that is sizing limitations, resource limitations, those sort of things. So we tried to get a good mix. It also looks like there's a meteor shower going on tonight, which is kind of fun to watch in the reflections. That's actually a pretty rare event, and when it does occur, you have increased luck. That's a fun little fact. So you'll find rarer prey and maybe even some rare herbs when that's going on. These voidling cats are really coming after me. I think I can probably take them down pretty quick here. Oh man, they both have the projectile special ability. They shoot like these energy fields. So that's making it a little tricky. Alright, so we got rid of them. I think we can heal up here with that golden seal. That's got us almost back up to max. Thank goodness. And we'll go ahead and head back, because it is 11 p.m., and we'll turn in for the night. Then we'll stop by Phantom's Den in the morning, try to give them a gift, see if we can find something that they really, really like, and then we can focus in on that for the rest of the stream. So I'll just head home here. We'll go ahead and sleep. I see a question, what happened to the ones that were left behind? So pretty much all of the cats, they've ended up joining different groups, going to different places. So the ones that aren't joining you in the Wildwood, don't worry, they're still out there somewhere. They probably just went to another part of the world. You can get a little bit more info about that at the very beginning of our last dev live stream. We showed the intro cinematic for the game. That has a little bit more info about what went down there. So I will point you in that direction. All right, let's see if Phantom is out and about. Yes, Phantom is right there at the pond. So we'll go ahead and talk to Phantom again. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to talk to me. I usually just keep to myself. Not that I don't like company or anything, I just tend to keep to myself. So we'll chat. And Phantom says, if you don't mind, I was actually hunting. I know you're trying to be nice talking to me, but I've kind of got everything handled here. You can keep making the rounds, I'm all good. Okay, alright. Well, we're going to be persistent. I think we can make a good friend, especially if we offer this rabbit. I think this is going to be popular with Phantom, because it's kind of a large prey. It's a little bit rarer than maybe a mouse. So let's go ahead and give that and see what Phantom's reaction will be. Thank you. Honestly, I could have gotten this myself, but I appreciate the gesture. Okay, so the rabbit was still not great. I mean, Phantom appreciated it, obviously, but it wasn't like a great gift. They didn't love it. So part of the goal of trying to befriend Phantom is that this is Phantom's den right here. And as you can see, if we try to enter Phantom's den, it's just going to tell me that they're not expecting me, so I probably shouldn't go in there right now. If we can befriend Phantom enough, if we can get them up to 3 or 4 stars, then we'll be able to walk in there and check it out. So we'll see if we can make that happen during the live stream. I don't know if we will or not. It's going to be tight on time if we do. I see a question, is this a full-on sequel? As in, do I have to have played the original game to understand this one, or can I start with Wildwood Story when it comes out? That's actually a really, really good question. So we are making... It is a sequel, however, it's a standalone sequel. So that's the clarification that I would add in there. Our concept behind this game is that if you've played the first game, great, you're going to get a lot out of the second game, you're going to enjoy it and be able to sort of follow the story sequentially. But because we're starting at a fresh starting point, right? We've just moved to this new area, we've just formed this new colony, it should be approachable for everybody. So even if you've never played before, you can jump right in. I think you'll get up to speed pretty quick with what's going on, and of course there's like an intro cinematic that's going to explain everything that's going on and what you need to know, like the important things. So don't be intimidated by the fact that it's a sequel. We're definitely trying to make this with beginners in mind as well. I see some questions here as well. I see a question, Deborah Campbell says, wait, you can actually go in the other cats' dens in this game? Yes, you can. So you can enter their dens once you've befriended them, and they're all decorated uniquely, and some of them have like different wall types and different furniture and that sort of thing. So not every cat's going to let you right into their den, though. You definitely need to get to know them first. But there are a couple dens you can just walk right into, specifically the store, so Ember's store you can just walk right into, because of course you need to be able to buy stuff and sell stuff. And the other one is the clinic. So Crampy runs a clinic. If you get hurt, then you can go visit Crampy at any time. So accessing Crampy's den is pretty important, so you can go and get healed up if you ever need to. So I might wander in there a little bit later in the stream, we'll see, because Crampy is hiding out in there, just waiting for somebody who needs medical attention to spring into action. I see a question from Bunny Hop Milky Way. It says, when you get married to a cat, do they move in with you, or do you move in with them, or do you both stay in your own den? They will move in with you, which is how it was handled in the first game as well. Your den tends to be a little bit larger than the NPC dens, and of course, you, the player, have more control over it, so it just works out better that way. Anime Weeb 248 asks, will all the things you have planned for be able before the Kickstarter release? Definitely no, if you mean features in the game. So we've been developing this for 2.5 years. So I've been sitting here at the computer day in, day out, just working on the game, trying to get it as far along as possible. But games like this, especially games with this much dialogue and these many systems, are like super complex. They take forever to develop. So what you're seeing right now, this is basically what we're going to have ready by the time of the Kickstarter. However, the first time that backers will be able to play it is going to be the alpha, which we are targeting this summer for the alpha launch. So if you back at the founders tier, that's going to give you alpha access. So you'll be able to jump in with sort of an early version of the game that'll look something like this, with maybe a few more features built in, sometime in the summer of this year. And then later we will release the beta version to our beta backers. That's going to be probably early next year. And then finally, everything that we have planned is scheduled to be implemented by the time of the full release, which is actually late next year. So there's a long road ahead of the game for Cattails Wildwood Story, but we are very encouraged by the process, or by the progress that we've made so far. I see another question here. Pongaze asks, how much money will the Kickstarter cost? So it's variable. I totally get that. Different people have different comfort levels with how much they want to put into a passion project like this, and different budgets as well. So there's everything from like a $1 tier, which you get some cool wallpapers that are really pretty, all the way up to like a couple $100 if you really want to support us. And there's some neat rewards that you can get in that tier if you do. But for most people, I mean, it's not going to be anywhere near that. So it's completely variable. It's based on what you want to back at and what rewards are specifically important to you. If you just want a copy of the game, we're trying to keep that pretty affordable. So make sure that you check that out within the first 48 hours, because we're also going to have some early bird tiers. So if you're not familiar with how early bird works, basically we're going to be offering several of our tiers at a slightly discounted price for the first 48 hours to drive interest and traffic to the campaign. So if you want a couple bucks off your pledge, then pledging early is a really good idea. I see some questions about volcano. Yes, there is a volcano in the game. More on that later, but there's definitely lava, and you do not want to swim in that because cats are flammable, I hear. There is a sparrow right there. We'll go ahead and try to grab that. Perfect. Got that sparrow. Maybe we'll head down to the beach. Try to collect some shells while we're out here. Oh, our inventory is very full, and I'm also kind of hungry, so I'm going to chow down on this mouse, I think, and also the shrew. It's going to help us out. I'm actually, first, before I head down to the beach, I'm going to head back into town. I need to offload a bunch of these items. K. Meyer asks, will there be voidling colonies, or perhaps voidlings he can befriend, maybe by completing challenges and missions? Super cool idea. Not at the moment. At the moment, the voidlings don't really talk, and they're pretty mysterious, so you're not going to run into a colony of them, but you'll definitely run into to fighting groups of them, which are always dangerous. I just noticed this. I caught a blue ladybug. That's kind of special. These are the rarest ladybugs. Might have had something to do with that meteor shower. I'm not entirely sure, because that does increase luck for a little while. But blue ladybugs are very, very valuable. They're the rarest springtime bug, and that's exciting. And if I sell that, it's going to be worth a lot of muse. So I think I'm going to take pretty much all of this. I'll hang on to one or two items, things that I haven't tried to gift to Phantom yet. But pretty much everything else I'm going to go ahead and sell, just to generate some more income. I think I'll hang on to... Oh goodness, what do I want to hang on to? I'm going to hang on to this rank 2 golden seal. I wonder if Phantom would like that a little bit better for the herb stockpile. Oh, peppermint. Peppermint. That's it. That's the one. It's got to be peppermint. We're going to hang on to that peppermint. Oh, that is a lot of ladybugs. I got 10 of those. My goodness. That blue ladybug alone is worth 60 muse, so that's a good find. We're going to go ahead and offload that. The spider as well. Spider's a little bit rare, and of course they're dangerous to take down because they fight back, so that's worth 15 just by itself, and that's a good deal. I'll go ahead and take that. Alright, we're making good money now. We can probably expand our inventory with this money, or maybe buy a music disc for the den. Might be able to do both, we'll see. Alright, so we're hanging on to probably both of the peppermint. Let's check out the store and see if we can expand our inventory. We can, for sure, so that's 200 muse. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase that. So now, instead of my pockets stacking up to 3, they're going to stack up to 5. So if I find 5 Golden Seal rank 1, they're all going to go in one slot. It's going to help me out a lot as I explore here. So the next upgrade is 500 muse. I don't know if we're going to make quite that much money just during this one live stream. But I could buy one of these records for the den if I wanted. I'm probably not going to spend too much time in the den though, so I'm going to hang on to my muse there. We could get this scarf though. I think I'm going to get the scarf. I think that would go really well with our green eyes. So we bought the green scarf. Ember says, I appreciate your business. We'll go ahead and wear that. Alright, so we're going to go down to accessories. We'll toggle on the green scarf, and now we have a very fashionable green scarf. I know it's not winter, but it's a fashion statement. I think it works. Question from Gardener Golfy, who asks, will NPC cats move around your camp and surrounding tiles like they did in the first game? Yeah, there's going to be NPC schedules. I hope they'll be a little bit more involved than they were in the first game. It's not implemented yet, but that is definitely a planned feature, so stay tuned for that. Let's see here. Sky asked, can you get extra effects by eating different foods or eating a little bit more to walk faster like in the first game? So we actually removed that. I thought that it was a little bit confusing that you could go over 100%, because like what does that really mean, going over 100%? So in this game, hunger has been pared down a little bit. You just have that fish bar there, and you want to keep that sort of higher. The design decision around that was that we wanted to get away from using such a granular number. So before it was a percentile. So you had everything from 150% all the way down to 0%. And it doesn't feel super good, because as your hunger's dropping, you go, let's say you're at 100%. Well, like 5 seconds later, you're at 99%. And it doesn't feel great, because you're always kind of watching it drop actively as the player, and you're like, oh no, I'm not full, I need to eat. So this time around, we decided to move to a much less granular approach. So now there's just, you start with 5 bars on your fish meter there. I went up to 6 because I found a blue power paw. But now if I eat something, so let me go ahead and find something to eat. There's a mouse over here. I'll go ahead and track down that mouse. There we are. So if I eat this mouse, then you're going to see it'll fill me up to 6 bars hunger. And now it's going to stay at 6 bars hunger, and I'm going to feel like I'm full, which I am. For significantly longer than if it was such a granular number. Oh, it must be getting to be nighttime. I'm seeing moths come out. Yes, it is 8:10 p.m. in the game. So I will probably swing down south. I'm going to try to head through the swamp a little bit. I don't know that we got to see any swamp areas the last time we did the live stream. I see a question from Jamsai is common. Are you going to work more on the hunting at all, like a bar for a quick, good kill that gives more XP rather than needing to study them? Yeah, so the hunting, we're really happy with where it is right now. The way that you can get extra bonus XP is actually by studying them. So the idea is, there's this trout here, so I'm watching this trout. And if you study them, you can see that ring that's going to appear around the trout. So if I just pounce from way back here, then I'm going to get maybe 2 experience points if I succeed at the pounce. But if I get right up to the border of that and then I pounce and I succeed on that, then it's going to give me 3 XP. So it's a 50% increase. It's definitely worth doing. So we'll go ahead and try that. So this is a sparkly pounce meter. If I succeed on that, then, which I did, I'm going to get that bonus XP. The other things about hunting that make it kind of exciting are there's multiple modes. So if you don't like the quick time event, totally get that. You can just switch it at any time. You just go into the menu here, hit options, go over to accessibility. And then you can switch between 3 different types of hunt modes. There's quick time, which is what I've been doing with the bar. That's the default. There's coin toss. It's going to show you a coin. It's going to say, because you got this close to the prey, because the prey is this rare, it's going to have a 40% chance of success or whatever it is. And you'll see that coin toss happen in real time, and it'll tell you if you got it or not. Then, of course, there's immersive, which is very similar to coin toss. It's going to feel a lot like the hunting in Cattails 1 did. It's just not going to show you the circle around the prey, and it's also not going to show you that actual coin toss, so it doesn't take you out of the experience at all. So whatever you're comfortable with, I think all 3 of those are really good options, all valid options for playing. Just pick whatever you prefer. I kind of like the quick time event, so I'm going to stick with the quick time event. Pixelated Fable says, the reflections are very pretty. Thank you. That was actually one of the very, very first things that I worked on for the game. Getting those reflections hooked up and making those work and making them all wavy with a shader as well. That was back in 2019 that I implemented that. I'm super, super happy with how it turned out. I think it looks better than in the first game where the water is just kind of blue carpet, Yeah, I see some people who are also pointing out that you can change the pace of the day. That's another thing that I implemented since the last dev live stream. That was a very, very common request for both games, and I think it's a great idea. So if you go into the accessibility menu, then you can actually change how long an in-game day is going to last. So it starts at normal, that's the default. But if days are just going by a little too quick for you or a little too slow for you, then you can go ahead and just alter that at any time. It's just going to change how many real-life minutes it takes for an in-game day to pass, basically. This crab is really getting on my nerves, so I'm going to go ahead and fight him real fast. Crabs they're like super weak. They don't have a lot of health. They're just obnoxious to deal with if you're heading down the beach. Oh, there's some golden seal. I want that. It is 11:30. That is definitely time to turn into the den, so I'm going to run back home. Hopefully I don't switch over to the new day quite yet. We'll go to sleep. We'll get our experience points for that. Let's see here. There's a question. Will pre-made coats be customizable and updatable, or will you have to make a whole new coat for customizations? Yes and no. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So you'll see that there's 3 pages here. The pre-made ones are pages 1 and 2, and then page 3 and onward is your custom creations. So, you know, I have some real ugly ones like this pause test, which I was using just to test the animations. If there's a pre-made color that you really like, let's say you really, really like the orange tabby here, right? You're a fan of that, but you want to alter, you know, the stripe color, make it red or something. I don't know. What you can do is you can make a copy of it. So you'll just make a copy. It's going to copy all of that data straight into a new coat color for you. And then you can just find whatever you're looking for. So in this case, let's say it's the stripes, and I want those to be kind of red. So I'll just alter those. So boom, now the stripes are red. I can rename this into something that isn't orange tabby copy. Maybe I'll call it orange tabby red. I don't know. I'm not feeling super creative. So we'll just call that orange tabby red for now. And now you see that I have orange tabby red that's added to page 3. And so it did not modify the actual orange tabby on page 2. It just copied all that data over. So just as a convenience option that's available to you. So I'll go ahead and switch back into the nebula color before we continue. All right, it is spring 3. Let me check the weather real fast. Looks like it's going to be sunny, and tomorrow's sunny. Perfect. We'll head down to Phantom and give some of this peppermint, because I am pretty sure that's going to be a popular gift. Hey Phantom, how's it going? Let's chat first. Well, do you have anything to say, Felis? I'm not going to carry the conversation for you. What do you want? Oh, I came across a little harsh there. I didn't mean to offend you, Felis. But seriously, what do you want to talk about? Well, what I want to talk about is this peppermint right here. Let's see how you react to this. You know me well, Felis. Thank you. I will remember this kind gesture. So, we finally got a winner. The peppermint is where it's at. So, I'm actually going to just drop that right there so I don't forget it or accidentally sell it or something. So tomorrow I can stop by again and offload that. Violet Rivers asks, any plans for adding purely decorative items such as flowers or feathers? I don't know if you mean to the den, like den furnishings, or on the cat, but there's definitely a lot of accessories. So there's actually a good amount of accessories. These are just the ones you start with, plus the green scarf that we purchased earlier. There's definitely like there's a flower right there. You can put a little flower behind your ear if you want. There's also some especially flowers that you can add to your den. There's like planters that you can get, like big planters, and also little flower pots that you can stick on a table or something along those lines. Oh, I also wanted to point this out, because I don't know that I've talked about this before. In the first game, your inventory could get really, really messy really fast. And so I added a sort feature where if you open your inventory, you could hit a button and it would sort all your inventory for you. In this new game, you won't have to worry about that because everything gets auto-sorted. So as soon as you put it into the inventory, it gets sorted according to type. So food goes first, then healing herbs, then utility herbs, then miscellaneous items, then bugs, etc., etc. And so as soon as you add it, it's just going to get automatically sorted. Everything gets grouped together. So like you can see the marigold are stuck together here, you know, because there's a line break there. The raspberries got put next to each other. You don't have to manually sort ever again. That was kind of a waste of time in the first game. Cecil says, in the old Kickstarter, if you had reached a certain amount of money, new things in the game would be unlocked, like custom colony and turtles. Will there be any of those rewards in the Wildwood Story Kickstarter? I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I don't even know if we'll hit the funding goal in the first place. I certainly hope that we will, and I'm optimistic that we will. If we do, then I have some ideas for sure of other things that could get added into the game, things that I'm like very, very excited about adding as well. So yeah, depending on level of funding, we can have that discussion for sure. I just, you know, I can't promise anything yet because we just don't know how Tuesday's gonna go. Inky Animates asks, when will this game be available? Also, will it be available on Switch or on iPad? Game looks amazing. Well, thank you, first off. And second off, the game is going to release at different times on different platforms. That's the current plan. So We are targeting Q4 of next year for our PC and Mac launch, and Q4 of 2024 for the Switch launch. And just to give some insight into why we made that decision, we're a very, very small shop here. I mean, I'm the only one who's actually developing the code of the game. So when we go to port to a new platform, especially like the Switch, it's just me. We're doing the porting in-house. I'm sitting here at my development computer, hashing that out. And so we don't have the luxury of like an entire team working on that port. So those things just, they kind of take time is the real response to that. Hey, we got some catnip. I don't know if we demonstrated the catnip in our previous stream, but I might go ahead and try that out just because it's kind of fun. So yeah, here's some catnip. You know, everybody knows cats love catnip. So we'll walk home as that catnip takes effect. I see a question about moving around stuff in your colony. Yeah, I don't have a ton more info on that now. That's not something that we've worked on so far, but that is definitely a planned feature from the get-go. You're going to be able to customize your base of operations, move buildings around, move trees around, those sort of things. So we'll have more info on that sometime in the future. I can't make promises exactly on when. Oh goodness, this is getting really tricky. So there's a beehive somewhere in the area, so there's all these bees flying around. And I also still have the catnip taking effect, which is making my visuals go super wonky. So I'm going to try to find that beehive, because those are actually full of very valuable honeycombs. I'm guessing it's down here somewhere. Yeah, right there. All right. Oh, please don't kill me, bees. I just want your delicious honeycomb. Oh, go away. So now all the bees are coming to defend, and I'm poisoned, which I think marigold can actually cure, so I'm going to use one of those. Yes, so the poison is gone. Can't get hit again or else it'll return. Oh, just got hit again. Alright, we're just going to keep using marigold as much as we need. We have a lot of marigold, so that's really good. Oh, there we go. Alright, I got the honeycomb. I'm out of there. I am not dealing with those bees. I think honeycomb is probably something that Phantom would like as well. Honeycomb is worth a lot of muse because it's very difficult to acquire, and the special effect that honeycomb can provide you is if you use it, it can make you temporarily immune to status effects. So if I had honeycomb on me when I ran into that beehive, I could use one real fast, and then I would be immune to poison for about 2 minutes, which would help me win that fight a whole lot easier. It's very useful when you're mining too. Like if you get down into like a poisonous mine level, then you can just use the honeycomb and you don't have to worry about any of those poison vents. We'll go ahead and sell some of this. Probably all of it. I don't think I need to hang on to any of it. But you can see that honeycomb, those are worth 22 a piece. So pretty valuable stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sell everything. Alright, we got a lot of muse. I wonder if there's something interesting that we could purchase. We could get a shiny trinket, but we are not at that stage with any of the cats that we know of. Oh, we could get that lamp for the den. That's an expensive one. Or the mushroom bundle. It's a good one too. I think I'll go ahead and get the mushroom bundle. So that's going to give me a bunch of furniture. And so I'll go into my den and I'll kind of place that down real fast. Because there's some cool items in that set. Alright, we're going to open the catalog. There's all my mushroom items. So first off, we'll go ahead and move this record player right into the corner. We will remove all this table because I got a better table now. I got a mushroom table, and we'll move the recorder back onto the table as soon as we have that placed. So there's our table. We'll move you right on top as promised. Maybe, yeah, right in the middle. Right in the middle works. We got some stools as well. Some mushroom stools in a variety of colors. So we'll place a couple of those down, make it homey. I think that works. I'm going to move my den down a little bit. That was a little claustrophobic there. And we also got these shelves, which are a wall piece, so they're just kind of mushrooms growing out of the wall. So something like that. That looks pretty nice, I think. So we got an updated den now. Yeah, it's looking nice. Looking real nice. I will mention that the stream is going to come to an end here pretty quick, because there's 5 minutes left in our time block. So I did want to say I really, really appreciate everybody for taking time out of their day to be here and joining us for the stream. I always have fun with these. I hope that you guys do too. It's a fun diversion from, you know, the normal development day to be able to chat with all of you and share what I've been working on and kind of share my thoughts openly. So thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna try to take a couple more questions here before we run out of time. So I'll just be kind of mindlessly wandering around the area here as I read the chat. So if I run into a wall or something, that's what's going on. Somebody asked, how many days is a season? So it's going to be 10 days, same as the last game, and festivals are going to be on the 10th again, just like they were before. But again, you can alter the speed at which a day passes. So if you don't like how quickly a season goes by, or you don't like how slow a season goes by, at any time you can just go to the accessibility menu and change the relative speed of your seasons. Gobsmack says, can we talk to all of the cats before you go? I can talk to a couple. I probably can't talk to all of them, but I'll run back into town and we'll talk to a couple of them. See a question about interactive furniture like the calendar and the pool. Yeah, there's a lot of interactive furniture. That record player is interactable. You can actually unlock record vinyls that you can play in your den to sort of change up the music that you'll be experiencing as you're in your den. There's an entire suite of music that's just like den music that's seasonal as well, if you don't have any records. But if there's a song that you just like, you're really jiving with, then you can get that CD and you can play it on the record player in your den, and it'll play that anytime you're inside there. A couple of other pieces of interactable furniture. There is the scratching post, which is where you're going to train your active skills when those get added to the game. So that's definitely interactable. Storage units, of course, calendars. There's probably one or two other ones that I'm missing. So there's a good number of interactable furniture. Cat Squid asks, will you normally have all the furniture unlocked at the start of the game, or will you unlock it gradually? Yeah, you're going to have a lot less furniture when the actual game releases. That's sort of just for testing purposes. We have most of the furniture unlocked, not quite all of it, but a lot of furniture right from the get-go. Most of that's going to be either in shops, or you'll unlock it through achievements or things like that. But you will have some furniture available to you. We want there to be some options, especially with the more natural items like the stone items or the wood items. We want those to be available right out the get-go, because I figure any cat could just drag that in from the wild and kind of place it around their den, you know, to sort of personalize it without too much effort. Let's see if Crampy wants some marigold. Probably will. By my beak, that's an amazing specimen. Yeah, so that was a good pick there. I'm a little hungry, so I should probably eat that. There we go. Thanks, Violet Rivers. I saw your message there, and so I ate some items. Rachel Nichols asks, how many cats are going to be in the game? There's going to be... Oh man, I don't want to give an exact number. It's going to be roughly 20. I mean, that's our current plan, is roughly 20. Inky Animates asks, will things like the blue jay, the cardinal, the blue ladybug, glowing butterflies, etc. still be available? Yes, actually all of those items that you mentioned are currently in Wildwood Story. They're still out there. They're still, you know, just as rare, so you can still run into those. There's a few new top-tier rare stuff as well. There's an ultra-rare moth. There's a starling, is a very rare bird. And a couple of other things as well. There's like an ultra-rare cricket, which is a bug you can find in the mines. So plenty of rare stuff to collect. Somebody's asking about the dev cheat codes. So there is still promo codes. The same promo codes do not work in this game, so don't try that. We've switched that up. There are still dev cheat codes. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I use them for development purposes. Jamsai is common says, important question, how are you? Oh, thanks. I'm actually doing very well. I appreciate the question. And I'm excited too about Tuesday. I see some comments about the Guardian text box. Yeah, it's sort of unique because the Forest Guardian is going to be a very, very central figure to the storyline of this upcoming game, and available to talk to from the very beginning as well. So you'll be interacting with the Forest Guardian a lot more than you ever did before in the previous game, and so we really wanted to make that experience special, so we added some special effects there. Alright, it is 6 o'clock, so I am probably going to wrap up the stream here. Definitely appreciate you guys coming out and chatting with me. I will let you guys know when the next dev live stream is going to be. It's probably going to be about a month from now. We'll see. Maybe it'll be after the Kickstarter is over. I'm not really sure yet. Haven't really scheduled it out, but I will definitely let you guys know as soon as that is on my schedule, so that you guys can put it on your schedule as well. Thank you so much for joining. Again, Tuesday is the Kickstarter launch, so check that out, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can go to cattailsgame.com/KS to follow that, and that link will also redirect to the campaign when that actually does go live Tuesday morning. So, I'm Falcon Develops. Feel free to follow me on Twitter or follow Cattails Game as well. You'll get all the latest news about the game. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. I really am having a really, really good time developing it. There's so many cool ideas that I am so excited to work on and to further develop into the game and all that. So with that being said, thanks again. I hope you guys all